morning, everybody. How you bloody going? Good, thanks. Welcome to Aquatic News International again for Monday, where if this is your first time tuning in, we look at the aquatic news from the week before, sum it up, give you a bit of a wrap up, just so you don't have to go searching all different places, yeah, just something to get your Monday going, essentially. This may go up until about lunchtime, but hey, no one actually starts work on Monday until lunchtime anyway. It's our little secret. We all know what the deal is. So let's jump straight into it. Fresh macroalgae can replace 50% of feed for Pacific white shrimp. A study investigated that the effects of feeding Pacific white shrimp with fresh green macroalgae, Catamorpha clavata, replacing 50% of commercial feed. What is clavata? I need Catamorpha. I definitely know a lot of Catamorpha species. Okay. Oh, it actually looks very similar to. Yeah. Okay. Cool. It is, I think, actually Cato or Chato that we use in marine aquarium. Okay, that's cool. I have to admit, I've never looked at the actual species name of Cato before that we use in marine aquariums. So there you go. Okay, so in the trial, juvenile venomai were divided into two groups. One fed only commercial feed, and the other fed 50% commercial feed and 50% fresh clavata macroalgae. The study found that replacing 50% of the commercial feed with fresh macroalgae did not affect the growth or mortality rates of shrimp. This is very, 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 very interesting. No notable changes were observed in physiological parameters such as metabolism, ammonia excretion, hepasomatic index, or energy budget. The substitution offers significant economical and environmental benefits by reducing the cost of commercial feed and improving water quality. Bang on. Researchers suggest assessing whether a lower replacement... Okay, right. Fantastic for incorporating into feeds, especially for farms that actually mill their own feed. The other thing is... these refugiums can actually process a hell of a lot of CO2, a hell of a lot of ammonia and nitrite directly, not even taking into account nitrate, can boost your biological performance, your biological capacity performance quite substantially, as well as then utilising that to then feed back to the culture species is actually, I'm going to look further into that. That is actually incredibly significant. Moving on to some research news out of Australia. Spawning breakthrough in Australia's Murray River for the Australian River Blackfish. The Australian River Blackfish, not to be confused with the ludric. The Australian River Blackfish is a freshwater species. Beautiful, beautiful little fish. It's a very slender fish. It's a beautiful, beautiful animal. Citizen scientists Stephen and Shell Mueller face challenges in breeding the species due to its shy nature and stress sensitivity. They achieved a spawning breakthrough by using spawning drums and dedicated spawning ponds, leading to successful breeding. They developed a controlled source of food items accessible to the blackfish locally and seasonally, including freshwater crayfish and mealworms. Obviously, feeding them a champagne diet went a long way to domesticating this particular species, as it does a lot of different species. Domestication is the first key to successful breeding. They developed a controlled source for... I've already read that. The breeding program aims to promote the plight of the river blackfish and its value as a sport and eating fish, both tick. Yes, definitely. Expansion plans include increasing the setup and collaborating with Native Fish Australia to stock suitable waterways and impoundments. Love it. Great. Aussie. Go Australia. Number 3, Nofima research uses selective breeding for enhanced growth in microalgae. Nofima scientists explored the selective breeding of microalgae to enhance growth and omega-3 content. So this is selective breeding, not genetic modification. Okay, selective breeding. The study used a microalgae species with sexual reproduction and crossed 8 lines in 1 generation. The trial showed that breeding can increase omega-3 production by 8.8% in 1 generation and growth by 25% per generation. This is massive. The study found a 50% heritability. Okay, yes, right. Selective breeding could make microalgae a more viable feeding breeding, which it already is, especially for pharmaceutical and things like that. But imagine, increasing growth by 25%. Holy dooly. Microalgae continues to be the powerhouse of the aquaculture industry. Eliminating off flavor in Atlantic salmon. I only did something on this last week. Dr. Edward Schram's thesis investigated the effects of temperature and water exchange on eliminating geosmin from Atlantic salmon. Fish loaded with geosmin were depurated for 144 hours under different water exchange and temperature conditions. The study found that water renewal significantly increases geosmin removal, but temperature has no enhancing effect. Increasing water renewal rates can make the cleansing process faster and reduce stress on fish. Higher water consumption may increase costs, but benefits include fewer biomass losses and shorter depuration times. Current depuration processes prioritize minimal operational costs over optimal geosmin removal. Yes, flushing water, obviously, but flushing water fish continuously with good quality water that they grow in, obviously has a lot to say for it as well. Especially when the fact that if you minimize or are able to almost totally eliminate purging, then you don't lose condition in your fish, which means a slightly better kilo rate at the end when they're weighed. Productivity or pilot research. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Science is a strategy. Farming for sablefish. What is a sablefish? Oh, of course, black cod. Of course. Bering Sea, cod. Yes. Duh. Pilot research project aims to develop sustainable practices for farming sablefish, a native deep sea in the Pacific Northwest. Okay, yes. Involves NOAA Fisheries, the Jamestown Tribe, as well as the University of Washington. Researchers have overcome challenges in spawning, larval rearing, and producing juveniles that grow quickly. The project aims to fill gaps in wild sablefish availability and promote food independence. Also emphasises sustainability using techniques like ikejime for humane slaughter, as well as exploring integrated multi-trophic aquaculture for sablefish. Yes, okay. Brewing fish, brewing eating fish. Obviously, a huge industry around it in the Bering Sea, especially. Everyone knows the show Deadliest Catch. That's what you're saying. Oyster aquaculture companies partner for sustainability. Solar Oysters and Blue Oyster Environment are partnering to use solar energy for oyster production and enhance environmental sustainability. Okay, right. Solar Oyster's production system uses solar panels to rotate oyster cages, increasing access to food and reducing biofouling. That would also result in a much better shaped oyster as well. The partnership aims to re-establish the Eastern oyster as a cornerstone. Okay, right, yep. SOP's technology includes a spray wash system powered by solar energy. That's actually pretty big. Especially if they can make all the wiring and technology really, really, really robust so that it's saltwater proof. Sometimes these sort of simplistic solutions really, really make a difference to farmers. I'll keep an eye on that. That's actually pretty interesting. Nordic halibut sees sales prices continuing to rise. They reported an 11% year-on-year increase in sales prices for its premium farmed halibut. The company achieved an average sales price of 163 krona per kilo head on gutted in quarter 3 of 2024. Harvest volumes reached 107 tonnes of head on gutted in quarter 3 2024. Again, the company is prioritising the harvest of smaller individuals to optimise biomass size distribution, obviously grading, cohort management, things like that. Okay. The strategy resulted in a 40% biomass growth during the quarter. The company aims to increase average harvest weights in future periods. Yeah. Again, flatfish industry in Australia almost non-existent, and we have a massive range of saltwater flatfish that would be flathead for a start. God, I mean, they sell for $44 a kilo, for the love of God. Like, why aren't we farming this fish? Arctic char. And Arctic char farm wins government support. Arctic char are an absolutely beautiful fish. I love them. The only thing I'm disappointed with the Arctic char is the fact that such a beautiful fish had to endure the name with Arctic, which is a beautiful name, and then char. Can we come up with something different? Anyway, a beautiful fish. Anyway, I'm sure there's hidden historical significance to the name. But yes, a beautiful fish nonetheless. Okay, project involved. Okay, so the Manitoba provincial government is supporting the Sapphire Springs Incorporated Aquatica Aquaculture Processing Facility. The project involves a $145 million investment and is expected to create at least 100 jobs. The facility will be Canada's largest Arctic char facility and most central land fish farm. The Manitoba government is providing a loan of around $10 million for the production expansion. The facility will contribute to Manitoba's economy and produce sustainable food. Sapphire Springs aims to become a leader in sustainable aquaculture and meet the rising demand for healthy protein sources. Char are great because they not only breed but exist their entire life cycle in freshwater. Their taste, although I've never tasted them, their taste is said to be somewhat akin to somewhere in between trout and salmon, more leaning towards the salmon side, apparently. Yes. So that is this week's roundup for Aquatic News International. Now, there's a lot more happening this week, but I hope that got you caught up. Again, if you're zipping through any of our social media channels, whether it be LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it might be, make sure that you're staying up to date with all the releases. They're predominantly news releases, technology releases, things like that. There is the odd, product release bulletin in there. But generally speaking, it is an informative channel that aims to bring together collaboration and cooperation through all avenues of the industry. So please go to our social media channels, like and subscribe. It is the best way to keep up to date with us, apart from also our MailChimp list, which please go to our website and sign up for that as well. In the meantime, please everyone have a good week, and we will see you later on in the week. Happy Monday.